Welcome to Escape to the Country. Today I'm in a county that is home to the world's largest wooden catapult, or trebuchet, and I'm going to fire it. And this is the traditional medieval phrase you do as it happens. Have a care! Woo-hoo! Heavens to Betsy, that goes, doesn't it?
On today's show, we're helping a young family say good day to a big country pile.
It's huge.
Beware though, some traditional features may cause confusion.
The story about the three little pigs has put me off as well.
The house is not built of straw, just the roof.
And be prepared for some controversial DIY.
How do you feel about the beams in here?
I think I could probably put some plasterboard over the main ones.
Oh, God.
Today we're in Warwickshire, and this is Warwick Castle, one of the finest medieval castles left in the UK, and inspiration to Warwickshire's favourite son, William Shakespeare. So it's once more into the breach, dear friends, as we rescue not damsels in distress, but property buyers in distress in this most historic of counties.
Landlocked in the West Midlands by 7 English counties, Warwickshire is considered to be the very heart of England. And as you'd expect from the birthplace of our most renowned playwright, it has a rich, dramatic and historic pedigree. Once the western border of the Roman Empire, the Fosse Way is one of the only Roman roads in Britain to retain its Latin name. Although don't expect anything exotic, it simply means ditch. Warwickshire played main stage in the Civil War too, Edge Hill being the backdrop for the very first battle to be fought in 1642. No prizes for guessing Warwick is the county town, which isn't just home to that magnificent medieval castle, but boasts some prime Regency and Georgian architecture after a fire in 1694 destroyed the town centre and it was completely rebuilt. Whilst the north developed industrially in the 1800s, the south kept to its rural ways and is still an agricultural stronghold today.
Warwickshire is really a tale of two counties, because you've got the northern part, which is centred around the big cities like Coventry, and that's on the direct commuter line up towards Birmingham. That's more populous. And then you've got the southern part around Stratford-upon-Avon, which is less populous but more expensive because it's shading into the Cotswolds. However, across the county, the average price for a detached house is only 3% above the national average. So that means that wherever you're buying, north or south, there's some property bargains to be had.
If its original features you worship, then look no further than this converted chapel in Ilmington. The open-plan layout downstairs is an inspired use of space, and upstairs are 4 bedrooms. With a price tag of just under £400,000, it won't take a wing and a prayer to buy it. For slightly bigger budgets, how about this old wheelwright's cottage in Granborough near Rugby? A sizable bespoke oak kitchen, 4 reception rooms, 5 bedrooms and a quarter-of-an-acre plot make this cottage anything but cosy. It's on the market at £675,000. For really big thinkers with a big budget to match, £1.25 million will buy this late Victorian family home in Moreton Morrell. A mix of period charm and mod cons, it's a great entertainer with 2 reception rooms, 4 bedrooms and a large annex. Surely with your own lake and 2.75 acres of land, a garden party must be on the agenda.
Lots of beautiful property to be had, but of course we have to fit it to our buyers' needs. And that could be a comedy of errors or all's well that ends well here in Shakespeare's county. And our buyers today have come from far, far away.
Olivia and her husband Neil, an offshore engineer, together with Alistair, their son, have already made a bigger move than most. 9,000 miles, in fact, all the way from Oz. So what's made them swap Perth's beaches for the Bards County?
My mum recently, in May, had open cardiac surgery, and it really just put things in perspective that I've been away for 10 years in Australia, and it was time to come back and spend some time in England and be around my family.
However, it's not just family ties that have motivated Olivia's return to her Warwickshire roots.
I've been missing the English country tremendously. In Australia, it's all about outward living, barbecues, the pool, and that type of lifestyle, where really England is a very different type of quality of life. And that's all about wrapping up warm, going for long walks.
Well, there's more history in England.
Yes.
It's far more.
Culture as well. But I think so.
It's a different type of culture. There's a lot more history, and it'd be something I'd be keen to look at, and Alistair can appreciate as well.
Having successfully sold up down under, they're now renting a 2-bed bungalow in Kenilworth.
I'm tending to get cabin fever, really. I'm not used to such a small environment. Our house in Australia was quite big, both with a pool, a big garden, 5 bedrooms, and so I think it's time to move into a bigger environment.
Matching that is going to take some doing, so what will come close to the dream?
We want a house with a bit of style, maybe even a Georgian manor or a house, which I really do like that type of style.
Predominantly, I'd focus on the external side of it, actually the countryside, and lovely gardens, some woods nearby, maybe stream.
Outside space is obviously key for Neil, but how much has he got in mind?
Maybe 1 to 5 acres, just get some land around us.
Yeah.
Grand property ambitions indeed. However, they're also used to large living spaces in Oz. So what exactly are they expecting from their new home here?
And internally, we'd like...
More than 3 bedrooms, 3 to 4, 4 onwards. We can go up to 7 or 8 bedrooms. It didn't really bother us.
Needs a good kitchen,
yes,
good size.
A new big size lounge.
And the bedroom has to be fairly large.
Sounds like we're supersizing. Hopefully that covers the do's. What about the don'ts?
We don't want anything which is pokey or small, low ceilings. We don't necessarily like beams, do we?
Yeah, I'm not keen on the thatched cottage, wooden beams every 2 feet look.
Nothing too rustic then. But what about the location? With Neil spending months away at sea with his job, just how rural do they want to be?
Probably a small village, some kind of shop, maybe primary school, pub, that kind of thing.
The community is really important for us, especially having a young child.
Being cash buyers means our Aussie deserters can move fast. But how much do they have to spend?
Our budget is £600,000.
It seems like an Australian's home is also their castle, because Olivia and Neil have got used to rather castle-like proportions in Western Australia. They've got a budget of £600,000, but they want a large Georgian property with at least 3 bedrooms and up to 5 acres of land, so it could be that they have to go for something a little more modest.
Olivia wants to be close to her mum in Coventry, no more than an hour's drive. But since both she and Neil are hankering after some ever-so-English countryside, we're going to start the property search in the very rural south, gateway to the Cotswolds. I'll be showing them around some gorgeous period piles, but I won't be revealing the price until they've had a chance to take everything in. And finally, there's a mystery house, which has the power to get them in a spin.
Welcome to Warwickshire, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I bet you don't get gardens like that in Western Australia, do you?
No, we don't. Definitely not.
Now, how does it feel, Neil, to be in England? I know you've been here since Christmas, but...
Oh, I'm fairly excited for a new chapter in my life, and looking forward to settling down here.
Not missing the Australian sun?
A little bit.
Well, spring's on its way, so hopefully that's good weather for property hunting. And you've been doing a little bit already.
Yeah, I've been looking at mostly on the internet when we was in Western Australia, but since coming back, for about 2 months now, I've been actually looking at houses quite extensively around the Warwickshire area.
And what sort of price range?
Well, we've kind of got a bit of a strange range, or a big range.
Big is good.
Yeah, between about 600 to 900.
OK, so originally we were saying 600, now it's gone up a bit. Where's the extra leeway come from?
We sold our house in Australia, which put us into the 600 range, but Olivia has some land in Western Australia that we've got on sale at the moment, and if that sells, they'll put us through to 900.
Oh, I see, so that adds to the pot.
Yes.
So what is our budget? What are we working with?
We're roughly looking around about 700.
Good. That's good. Another £800,000 in the pot. That's excellent. Good. Well, I mean, Warwickshire it's a really wonderful mixed county in the sense there's lots of different historical styles, and also the market is picking up. So we found some really nice things.
Sounds
Fantastic.
good.
Let's go look.
Thank you.
Increasing the budget up to a flexible £700,000 can only be a good thing, as trying to find a Georgian house with at least 3 bedrooms, a big kitchen, a big lounge, not to mention plenty of acreage, is a big ask. Especially when they want that property package to be situated in a thriving community village in prime Warwickshire countryside. Only time will tell if it's to be or not to be.
And we're off to see our first property. What are you hoping I'm going to show you?
Well, I like the idea of, again, being in the country and having really spectacular views from the house would be nice.
Sort of hoping for something where there's a bit of a wood or something, not too far from community, so we could still go in and go to the shops and be part of the community, but...
Yeah, it might be quite difficult to find a property with a wood attached in the middle of a community, but
Yeah.
we'll try. Well, of course, you don't have to own the wood.
No, that's right.
You could just borrow somebody else's wood for
That's
that.
right.
I think Neil might have to forget the forest. What I can deliver is a very pretty English village on the Oxfordshire border, Hornton. At a 50-minute drive from Coventry, Olivia's mum is easily accessible. Hornton is famed for its colourful limestone. Having been quarried locally for generations, it makes up almost every building in the village, and it's a picture that's unlikely to change as the entire place is a conservation area. Its 12th century church is definitely worth a look for its medieval wall paintings, but also plays a vital role in the community's social events, along with the pub, primary school and sports pavilion. Our first property is on the very rural outskirts of the village. Fingers crossed it won't be too isolated.
So we're walking along the Oxfordshire-Warwickshire border. Now that's Oxfordshire, this is Warwickshire, and inside Warwickshire is the first house I want to show you. What do you think?
Wow,
Wow.
looks fabulous. I like it where it's set. I mean, this is just such a quiet, idyllic place.
Okay, well, I warn you, the thing about this property is that it's a bit of a project. It's a Grade 2 listed building, but it has plans, well, practically to double the volume of the house.
At the back?
Yeah,
And they've
at the
been
back and
improved,
actually to
haven't
the side.
Right.
But that's obviously a lot of work.
Yeah, I would like to look at the plans, and it gives us a perspective, really, how much of a bigger project we're prepared to go and prepared to do.
Okay, well, shall we look inside?
Yes.
Well, they haven't run a country mile at the word project, so that's a good start. Tudor revivalist in style, this started life as an alehouse in the 1800s, but for the majority of the 20th century it was a working farm. Having been modernised, it's entirely livable, but the extension will be a must to make it the large family home that these two are after.
Come on straight into the hall, nice big hall. They put down these tiles. These are not, sadly, original tiles, but they're kind of in the spirit of that period.
Yeah. It's a nice hall. I like the ambiance. It's a nice big space.
Okay, let's take a look at the front room. Originally it had earth floors, and then as the farmhouse, obviously, it was brought up to scratch.
I like the exposed stone, really. It gives a bit of character to the room. And the view is just magnificent out there. I really do like that. And I think the windows frame the countryside quite well.
So how do you feel about it? Because obviously this is very different from the architecture in Australia.
It is a bit unusual to have a wooden beam running through your house, but a little bit smaller room than I'd envisaged, but it's cosy and it's good light.
Yeah.
It's quite
Yes,
nice.
I don't think we're ever going to get, in your budget, I don't think we're ever going to get those massive rooms that you're used to.
Well, they may not be gargantuan, but we do have a few more. At the end of the hallway is a snug cum study, the only bathroom in the house, and back across the hallway is the third reception room and kitchen. However, this layout will be transformed beyond recognition with the agreed plans.
Here's the plot. This and this is the extension. So you can see it almost doubles the size of the house.
Yes, that's good.
And what happens is you'll go through there and there'll be a huge kitchen
Oh, no, that'd be good.
diner here. And then again we've got a lobby and a playroom for Alistair
Oh, that's great.
with a separate entrance which goes up into a loft space here.
Well, I actually like the idea of a playroom for Alistair. It's quite Australian. We have playrooms stroke theatre rooms in a lot of the new houses.
Theatre rooms?
They call it theatre rooms, it's just...
Is that for your home theatre?
Yeah.
There is a sitting room here. You could make this a theatre room. Yeah.
So the plans allow for 4 reception rooms on the ground floor, but let's now head upstairs. There are currently just 2 decent-sized bedrooms, but planning consent allows for a master ensuite, plus 3 bedrooms and a family bathroom.
And this will be one of the big bedrooms.
Okay. This is a big room, really, isn't it, for an English house?
So what do you feel about the actual rebuilding? You've had a quick look at the plans.
I think the plans look very well thought out and they're quite appealing. It's really going to come down to a cost of how much it's going to cost to actually build the house to the standard that it's been planned for.
Well, we'll get to that shortly, but not until we've checked out the outside space. And this is where the property really comes into its own, because we have not 1, not 2, not even 3, but nearly 5 acres.
So here we get the full extent of the property, because the 5 acres basically follows the hedgerow all the way to the fence where the cows are, across, and then all the way along here, back down, all the way to that side, back down to the road. What are you going to do on your 5 acres of land?
Well, what we'd like to do is actually maybe put a wood on it. So on the far side, we would like to plant lots of trees. And then we would like to also have more of a formal garden so Alistair can play in that area.
OK, so you want the land, we've given you land, that's fine, but land costs money, so let's talk money. What do you think this land and property is worth, not including the cost of the extension?
Well, I think maybe high 4s, early 5s.
What about you, Neil?
I'd have thought about 550 or thereabouts.
OK, so this plot of land, 5 acres plus the farmhouse, is on the market at 595.
Right.
2 years ago, when it went on, top of the market, it was on at 850.
Wow.
Because you've got to remember, you've got 5 acres of land in the Cotswolds.
Yeah.
That costs money.
Yeah, big difference. Hearing what you've said, really, and it'd be quite an expensive wood that we'll be planting.
It would be an expensive wood that you'll have to plant and wait 56 years to grow. When, there's lots of woods around that you could just drive to and let Alistair play in. Anyway, those are some thoughts. Have a look around inside, go back and look at the plans again and see what you think. Now you know the price.
OK. Thanks.
At just a snip under £600,000, this Grade 2 listed Georgian farmhouse has stacks of potential. Currently, it has 2 bedrooms, a small kitchen and 3 reception rooms. However, for an estimated cost of £250,000, the approved plans would transform it into a large 4-bedroom family home with a big open-plan kitchen diner and 4 reception rooms. The icing on the cake has to be the 5 acres of land it already comes with. This will be a stretch in budget. The question is, do they like it enough to push it that far?
The 5 acres of land is certainly fairly attractive. It's not quite the ideal for me, because I'd envisaged maybe a little bit of a wood and an orchard and this sort of thing, and obviously to establish that, I would need to probably wait a good 40 years.
What excites me about this is that it's a Grade 2 listed building, but it's been pre-approved. This plans have.
Right.
And that's what I like about it. They've done the hard graft, the hard work on that.
Looks very nice. I think it'd be very livable.
Externally, it was very, very pretty. It's very handsome building. It's lovely to look at. Inside, obviously, is quite small, but I have to really use my creativity and think, OK, what would it be like with an extension? So it's something to think about and to reflect upon.
Big question for me would be whether we can live with it long enough to be able to do it up to the standard that we'd like it to be done to with the extension.
Hey!
Hi, how you doing?
All done?
Yes.
Very good. If you can give that door a good tug. And let's press on.
As one of the finest medieval fortifications in the UK, Warwick Castle is the perfect place to enjoy one of the most popular sports of the last millennium, and I'm not talking football. In the Middle Ages, there was only one way to spend your Saturday afternoon, cheering on your local knight at the joust. In 1194, Warwickshire became one of just 5 counties to receive a jousting licence from Richard I. Reenactments are held regularly at the castle, and Richard Timpson, manager of some modern-day knights, has agreed to put me through my paces.
My liege.
Good day to you, sir. You well?
Richard, your highness, your kingship, whatever.
Yes, indeed. Make all you mean, your majesty.
Your majesty. Very good. Now, tell me all about jousting. I'm quite excited.
Jousting was training for war, basically. It was usually in peace times, and there would be competitions between various different countries, see who had the best knight.
Were there different kinds of tournament?
Yes, they would say a tournament is à la tranche, which means to the death. They would have a spike on the end of their lance, or the tournament à la plaisante, which was with a coloured lance, which was a ball on the end of the lance, so that nobody would actually get speared or skewered.
We'll be doing the à la plaisante, will we?
À la plaisance,
Oh, very
I'm
good.
sure.
Well, that's a relief. But I can't put my knightly prowess to the test without the right outfit. Now, where's my steed?
So this is Daffodil. Not a terribly knightly name, I have to say.
We're going to do the quintain, which is a training for the joust. You'll run down and hit the shield, and if you're not quick enough, the bag on the other end will spin round and clout you on the back of the head.
Yeah, I can just about see out of it.
So if you just pass Sir Alistair, the lance.
Sir Alistair Lance a little.
That's it. I think you're ready, sir.
Let's
Stephen?
do this.
You ready? On we go. Get your lance set underneath your arm, Alistair. Underneath your arm. That's it, go on. Keep going, set. Excellent. Excellent.
Hey!
Well done, Sir Alistair.
Oh, King Richard.
Well done, sir. From now on, sir, you should be known as Sir Alistair the Brave.
Oh, my God, it's like racing a horse with a can of baked beans on your head with a giant wand in your hand. Beautiful, well done, Daffodil. I feel like a complete cretin, but I hit it. Hats off to you knights. Oh, it's no easy business, jousting, is it?
Well, this knight's tale is at an end, and so is our first day of house hunting here in Warwickshire. Coming up, can Neil downsize on his 5 acres for Olivia's dream Georgian pad?
The size of the room and the windows, that really excites me. This is something which I was looking for.
Or will they splash out on today's mystery house?
This is the bustling little suburb of Lillington, just outside Leamington Spa, home to the Midland oak, which traditionally used to mark the very centre or belly button of England. For us, it has a slightly different significance today, because yesterday we were looking at property for Neil and Olivia south of the oak, towards the Cotswolds and the more expensive part of Warwickshire. And today we're looking north, up towards Coventry and closer to Olivia's mum, where we can get a little bit more for our money, and hopefully we're going to find something that pleases the both of them.
Our first destination is Kilsby on the North Hants border. It's 20 miles from Olivia's mum in Coventry and 5 miles from Rugby, Warwickshire's second largest town. Which makes Kilsby a popular commuter village, and despite its proximity to some big towns, which all too often can mean the demise for village amenities, this one has bucked the trend, with a choice of 2 pubs, a primary school and a busy local store and post office. Legend also has it that the very first shots of the Civil War were fired here, which is somewhat pertinent, as I could be entering into a battle of wills with Neil, as our first house has a prominent feature I know he's not keen on.
First off,
It's thatched.
it's thatched, and you didn't want it thatched.
No.
What's your problem with thatch?
There's the fire danger, the maintenance just looks a little bit on the messy side for me. Probably the story about the 3 little pigs has put me off as well.
Right. The house is not built of straw, just the roof. But actually thatch is a very sustainable, green and good form of roofing insulation. This one does need to be replaced. In about 5 years' time you'll need to put a new, fresh, clean, tidy one on. And that will set you back about 25 grand.
Yeah.
And it is actually both these properties, it's all one property.
Oh, really?
So it's a big detached property.
Oh, fabulous.
Oh, that's very nice.
Now, I think, despite the thatch, that you're actually going to love this. Though often I've been proved wrong on that front. But OK, so let's go in.
Let's hope Neil keeps an open mind, because although this isn't the Georgian manor house Olivia has her heart set on, built in 1758, it is indeed Georgian.
Come in, lovely flagstone hallway.
Very nice.
Nice feature.
Let's go straight into, these are the sitting rooms. So what's lovely about this is we've got double aspect.
That's good with the light coming through on both sides.
We do have an evil beam, I'm afraid.
Yes, I just suddenly noticed that. But
it's high, so...
it is high, all's forgiven there, for sure.
I'm getting all the bad stuff out front, so the thatch and the one beam.
It's a little bit small, but it's good light, and you've got a feeling of space in here, even though it is a smaller room.
I've been trying to sort of break it to you gently, but I think that we're not going to get those Western Australian proportions in a Georgian house in your budget.
Within our budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
So why don't you go in there, head in there first, and see what strikes you about that.
Oh, okay. It's much bigger, this one.
Yeah.
This room. Oh, it's lovely.
It's a bit grander, isn't it?
It is.
It's nice.
The size of the room and the windows, that really excites me. This is something which I was looking for.
Yeah.
Great reactions, and there's still more living space to check out along the hallway.
And here's the dining room.
That's very nice. Dining room, I don't know, what would we do with it? Because we don't really utilise the dining room, do we?
Yeah, I can see the kitchen's just through here, so perhaps we could knock this wall out and open the space up. We'd have to look at that.
Everything is possible.
Yeah.
Because it indeed does flow through into the kitchen. It would make quite a nice sort of dining kitchen space, because this is fairly contemporary.
Right now it is too small, but it's workable and it's livable. The idea of opening this up
Would really make the bottom part of this house very nice.
I like it so far.
A definite thumbs up to the ground floor, but knowing how much these two like their huge spaces, I think upstairs might need some rejigging. There's ample scope, with a whopping 6 bedrooms in all. On the first floor are 4 similar-sized bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, which they could divide up to make 2 super-sized ensuite bedroom wings, each with its own stair access. The final rooms are up in the attic.
Ta-da! After you.
Thank you. Okay. Nice oak stairwell. It's nice.
Oh, wow.
This is really interesting. 3 rooms. It's very versatile, this area.
Yeah, because this room is actually quite light.
And again, lovely wooden floors.
Beams,
as well.
you were about to say beams,
Oh,
weren't you?
it's
Lovely
bit-
wooden beams, it's
bit of a
working.
Freudian slip there.
My beam
Plenty
therapy.
of
So I'm going to lock you in there overnight until you kind of love the beams.
That'll be a treat.
Room 101.
You know, I'm just not convinced Neil wants a period home at all. I think he'd be happier with something sparkly and new. However, there is something out in the garden that might persuade him that this could be the house for them.
This, I think, is a real selling point.
This is lovely.
This is your very own indoor barbecue party space.
Oh, wow.
It's huge.
Isn't it great?
It's
massive,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Fantastic.
fun.
So you've got a little loft area here. You've got your space, because obviously the weather's not always
Oh, that's great.
like Western Australia. So you can have your barbies indoors. You can have your friends around at the little bar.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
funny.
it's a nice outdoor entertainment area
Yeah, it's
for
great,
rainy
isn't it?
days.
I thought that bloke's shed would impress an Aussie. To the all-important garden. We're downsizing considerably from 5 acres to approximately 1/4, but it's still a good size, so can they make the compromise for Olivia's near-perfect Georgian house?
So this is a handsomely sized garden. Plus
Yeah.
you've got a barn and you've got a carport and a walled garden
That's
and a
right.
gazebo.
I like the little sections of everything, even outside. It gives a very different feel, depends where you are outside.
How much do you think it all costs?
Say about 680.
What do you think, Neil?
Yeah, I agree with Olivia. I think it'll be on the upper end of our budget. I would say about 695.
You are exactly on the money. 695 is what it's on the market
Hey.
for.
Do I win a prize?
Well done.
Yes, you get the house for free. No, you don't. There are things that you'd probably want to change, so why don't you have a walk around, think about whether there are things that you could afford to do in your budget. We'll meet afterwards and then press on.
Okay, thank you.
It's very interesting. I saw that Olivia was getting more and more enthusiastic as we were getting round, and Neil was looking more and more panicked by Olivia's enthusiasm. So it'd be really interesting to see how they work that one out.
At £695,000, this Grade 2 listed thatch cottage is just under the £700,000 budget, but that figure is flexible if the house is right. And I'd say for Olivia it definitely is. It has 3 versatile reception rooms with spacious dimensions. If they're happy to lose one, there's potential to create a huge kitchen diner. With 6 bedrooms, there's scope to rejig upstairs, and for Neil, set in the 1/4 acre garden, is a superb bloke's shed.
Yes, this is my favourite room. This is what I really like. I love It just feels good. It feels open, fresh. There's lovely character to this room.
I really like the gardens, the barns, the property itself. I really liked the ground floor. But as I went up the stairs, I was a bit put off by the size of the rooms.
I don't think he was as excited as I was, but then he has to methodically think about things, where I really put my heart on my sleeve and it's either yes or no and get quite excited quickly. So there is, this time, we are on slightly different pages in some essence.
And I suppose at the end of the day, if she really does love it, I can learn to live with it.
Ah, well, it works. Look, you've got your own spring.
Oh, fantastic.
Fresh water from the well.
That's a really nice feature, actually.
Good,
It's
isn't
the
it?
first working well that I've seen.
It's the first working pump I've ever seen on this show.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Hats off to that. Let's press on.
When it comes to historical hotspots, Warwickshire has more than its fair share. Stratford, Warwick, Kenilworth and Leamington Spa are all popular tourist honey traps. But with 11 ancient market towns in all, it's possible to get your fill of history without the hordes.
Oh yay! Oh yay! Oh yay! We welcome you to the historic market town of Henley in Arden.
Just 7 miles north of Stratford, Henley in Arden is a real gem. Its first of many market charters was awarded to the Lord of the Manor, Thurston de Montfort, in 1141. And today its 1 mile long high street is a conservation area. Earlier in the week, Olivia and Neil met up with local historian George Atkinson to find out more.
Where we are now is the site of the original market cross. We had to renovate it because it is one of the listed ancient monuments in Henley, and it had deteriorated a lot. What we've got left is the remains of it. It was 22 feet, which would have been an enormous landmark in the particular time.
With an incredible 174 listed buildings, Henley's High Street is an architectural time warp. The Elizabethan Guildhall and 15th century Church of St John's are both notable, but the oldest building in the town, dating in part from 1395, is now a heritage centre, and it's home to some fascinating artefacts.
What we have here is a very distinctive relic for the town. It is the original charter granted by Henry VI on the 13th of May 1449 to the then Lord of the Manor. It gave him jurisdiction over the application of law, the raising of taxation and general governance.
Normally you'd see it, say, in a bigger museum, and it's nice to know that the community has ownership of this.
It is apparently the only one still in existence.
Well, the Mystery House is going to be a challenge, as the Mystery House often is, but it is going to play to one of Neil's main requests, was that he wanted to have some running water by his house. And we've definitely got running water. So we're off to see the Mystery House. Any ideas what the mystery might hold?
I have no idea now. I'm just as confused more than ever, and even than the first house.
Well, all the houses we've looked at so far have had elements of what we really like, and perhaps this will be combine all of them.
Well, the Mystery House is not typically everything you're looking for, because that would just be the right house. The Mystery House always has a bit of a challenge in it, in the sense that it has something that may maybe make you think in a slightly different direction.
All will be revealed soon. This time we're heading 20 miles north of Coventry to the hamlet of Bilstone, just over the Leicestershire border. The little hamlet is popular with young families because neighbouring Congerston has a high-performing primary school. For supplies, though, you need to travel 5 miles to the attractive and aptly named market town of Market Bosworth. But back to the Mystery House. We thought Neil, as an offshore engineer, might enjoy a bit of onshore engineering, because this property is a prime example of both Victorian and 21st century technology, which could be a bit of a money spinner.
Oh my gosh!
It has a river running through it.
It's running through it.
It's literally running through it, because this is the mill house.
gosh, very interesting.
That's the mystery. Running water is a massive source of
Power and energy.
hydroelectric electricity, which is why this house is completely self-sufficient in electricity.
Oh, that's
Oh, look,
fantastic.
that's brilliant.
It's a kind of magnificent bit of industrial engineering.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
So it can supply all the electricity from the house, and you can sell back to the grid at least £2,500.
So you're actually
Every year.
making money.
So you're making money, yeah,
That's fabulous.
because it makes more than enough to keep you going.
Well, it will do once the mill is sold and the turbine switched on. It's an attractive feature, but will the house be as appealing? It's semi-detached, beautifully presented and retains real rustic charm. Yes, I do mean beams.
Come in. Oh, it's lovely and warm.
Oh, it is nice and roasty.
So we'll go straight into the kitchen.
Oh, it's lovely laid out.
Well, I thought this was, you know, in the way... what's nice about this property is that it has traditional elements, obviously, and also a lot of modern elements. So what are your thoughts?
I actually really like this. I like the way it's planned out. I like the colours.
How do you feel about the beams in here?
I think we could probably put some plasterboard over the main ones and
Oh, God.
just have the larger beams exposed.
Right.
No, I wouldn't. This actually frames the whole of the kitchen. This is lovely. I like these. Well, that's going to be a bone of contention, isn't it? Right.
So it's very simple downstairs, two big areas. The next one is the living room. Lovely oak doors and frames throughout, actually. And then, here we are.
Okay. Nice views from outside.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice room to relax in.
It's got a nice character, nice feeling to it.
You've got views everywhere you look to. So.
Anyway, let's go upstairs.
Yes.
Lovely oak stairwell, very solid and modern. Drum kit,
Yes.
more beams.
More beams.
All right.
So this is the master bedroom, good size.
Yeah, reasonable size.
You've got a downstairs dressing area, you've got his and hers cupboards. All the kind of like loft space there is turned into storage.
That's nice.
And then every bedroom in the house has its own ensuite. This is yours. Have a look.
Okay. Okay, it's quite compact, but I suppose it does the job.
Also on this floor is a double ensuite, a study, and the last two ensuite bedrooms are upstairs.
Yet again, as we get higher, the ceilings get higher. And this is the old mill workings.
Now that's a really nice feature.
So we've got two bedrooms up here, but what's interesting about mill houses is, of course, that this is where the mill workings used to be, and it was all open plan. I mean, there were no dividing walls. These are just plasterboards throughout. You could take all of these walls out and have this as an enormous master suite.
Yes. Now knowing that this exists and the possibility of opening up is a
Makes
very
it a lot more
positive
attractive.
thing. It makes it much more attractive for us.
On that positive note, I think we should head downstairs and take a closer look at the river and the land.
So back outside, and this, I have to say, is the outside.
Oh, okay. Just this part of the land.
Yeah. But the good thing is that this is all public footpath,
That's nice.
so effectively you can go walk all the way across to the church and the village over there. That's like having a huge garden that you don't have to actually look after. So how much do you think it's worth, this unusual building?
Well, it's a beautiful building. It's been renovated extremely well. And I think maybe looking at also the land, about 610.
I'd be guessing around 650 to 700.
Yet again, he's good. It's actually on the market at 695.
Right.
So have a quick wander around, and then I'll be here by the generator,
Okay.
and then we can motor on.
All right.
Okay.
A fraction under budget at 695,000, this semi-detached watermill is quite a rare opportunity. It combines Neil's beloved mod cons with rustic authenticity. It has a big country kitchen diner, one reception room, 5 bedrooms, 4 of which are en suites, and it's very, very green. In fact, when it comes to being eco-friendly, this house will make money, a return of about £2,500 a year. It doesn't have acres of land, but it does back onto open public countryside.
Can you imagine our study being here?
Yeah, I think it'd be a very
Yeah.
nice working environment. You've got that beautiful view. And,
Do you know, I don't know if I could work in this room because I'd be distracted always by
looking
the
out the window.
scenery. Yeah. It's lovely.
I'm really attracted to this idea of the hydropower and being self-sufficient, to actually come here and have that presented is a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah, the actual environmental aspect of this house, I think, excited Neil more than myself because he thinks about it in a very mechanical way and a way of saving money as well.
So to drag you away from this one,
Okay.
let's go and think things over.
Great.
So with the sun going down, it's time to find out if any of our properties have made the grade.
Here you go, guys.
Oh, wonderful, thanks.
So I do feel that the pressure's been on us slightly because it's such a big move from you, coming from Western Australia. So I do hope that we've been able to help you in some way by showing you some properties. So if it's all right, can we go through them and talk about them in turn? So the very first project was quite a big renovation project. That was the Georgian house, right in the middle of nowhere. What are your thoughts about that now?
It was really impressive and very nice facade. But then when you showed us the plans, it sort of became evident that it actually would be a very nice place to live once it was finished.
Did it put a question in your mind about how much renovation you're willing to do?
Yeah, that was a concern of mine, really. We never thought going into this, looking for houses to do a big project. I had to actually consider, well, what would it be like without Neil being here and me actually coordinating doing this? So it brought up a lot of questions for me.
Yeah. Now, the thatched farmhouse that we showed you in the beautiful little village, well, that seemed to get you very excited.
Yes, it did, especially downstairs. I really liked that, and I loved the windows and the character and just how it felt, generally speaking. I really was thinking, this could be it.
I really loved the backyard, the barn, but the house itself seemed fairly small and I couldn't really see a lot of potential to improve it, given its grade listing.
So the mystery house was a mystery to you, and it's quite a mystery to me how you responded to it. What are your thoughts on the mystery house?
I was initially very positive to the kitchen, and I was thinking, OK, we can work with these beams if it was just within the kitchen area. But I didn't realise that throughout the whole house, this was a main feature of the house.
When I saw the turbine, and that really got my imagination going, and I thought, this is great, fantastic. And then as we moved up through the house and it revealed it was relentless beams and fairly small rooms, so I was sort of put off by it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that none of the properties really grabbed you to the point that you're actually going to go and put an offer on them.
That's right.
So looking at all the properties, can you sum up sort of what you've, I don't want to say learnt, but what's perhaps conclusions you've drawn?
Well, we've definitely come away thinking we need to be a bit more focused on what we want and maybe increase our budget slightly up to the 900, or if we do stay within this budget, to try to compromise a wee bit on our dream home.
I genuinely hope that you find something and I find it soon, because it's been lovely showing you around.
No, it's been great. It's been a brilliant experience, so thank you.
Well, we didn't quite manage to create the Shakespearean happy ending for our house-hunting couple from Australia, but it wasn't a tragedy either, and I hope they picked up some tips and they'll be moving into somewhere in Warwickshire very soon. Meanwhile, you can join us again on another escape to the country even sooner.
If you'd like to escape to the country in Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/beonashow.